Psst. Hey, watch, learn.
Ik noem het all-style Muay Thai, omdat ik vind dat het boksen erin zit, compleet. Het compleet clinchen en het compleet trappen. Te maken met draaien van het lichaam. Dat is also mijn stijl op gebaseerd. Alleen maar draaien, uit de baan stappen, draaien, draaien. Elke beweging is een draai. Dat is zo'n beetje wat.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the BDMMA Bread and Circus. I wanted to be quasi-topical in a tongue-in-cheek sort of way and present you with a breakdown that I've wanted to do for a while, but just never got around to. So this is specifically on Ubereem, not Alistair Overeem as we know him today, just the Ubereem ears. So, no time like the present, that's the man. Pretty clearly terrifying. So, we're better to start than his incredible clinch, knees, inside game, seamless transitions between his types of clinches even. So, you'll see some 2-on-1s on his head. That guy looks a heck of a lot like Roy Nelson for not being him. He had an amazing guillotine, by the way, and he would sequence strikes from it if it didn't lock up well, like right here. See that knee straight to the head? I mean, it looks like they're fighting at, you know, some boys club somewhere, but I don't really know what's going on. I don't know who that opponent is. But see this is a free clinch clinic. He's starting with that wrist control, collar tie, knee right there, the solar plexus into a traditional, and that is perfect form, by the way. Tie plum, where he's got both hands high up on the crest of the head, elbows are in tight towards his navel, and from there it's just an assault. This dude tries to kind of panic wrestle here, and he gets that standing guillotine with the high elbow. One of my personal favorites. That's one of those tap fast as soon as it's on type things, because see how he's going to put a little arch to his back there. That was kind of light compared to one that's a little bit later on in the video, but here's some wonderful step in knees into clinch entry knees, but note the trajectory of them. So from where they start until where they land is what I mean by trajectory exactly in this case. A lot of people want to kind of throw their knees straight, so from position straight at target where you're going to be taking kind of an angle. It's not circular knees, I don't mean that. What I mean is it's kind of an up and in, like at a 45, like everything is. Realistically, it's probably a 30-degree angle, but we always say the 45-degree principle. So, pulling them in via loose clinch. So, simultaneous makes for 2 times the finish, right? Or the inertia, if you will. As he's pulling him in with the two-handed clinch there's also the inertia of the knee, so it's kind of force meets force. This one shocked the world against Badr Hari, one of the greatest kickboxers of all time, and there's another one of those just brilliant clinch knees. He was so good at them they had to cap him in K1 to one-hand clinch only. So here's this up jab is beautiful into the clinch. And then he hits a no-sit 3 while his knee's still in the air. See that bang right there. And Badr's a schooled, seasoned, brilliant striker, but he didn't see that coming. So wonderful cover-up via answering the phone with his right hand there. See how his glove is to his ear. And then, you know, this isn't the most advanced concept in the world to cover up while you throw these kind of strikes. And that's, even that hook was similar, again, to the up jab, and it's, again, trajectory, but wonderful stuff nevertheless. So here's a overhand right feint into a standing knee. That's very Tyrone Spong as well, who I put earlier in the video. And his old trainer who started this whole thing off, Lucien Carbin, he was talking about the striking that he teaches always being rotational, aka from your core, from your hips. And if you notice, especially in the Ubereem days, most of his best power strikes and the like came from said power, or most of his power came from said core. It's always round strikes. It's always something that involves his hips. So proper defense, see his hands weaving through there, but the arching of the back and then scooting his butt up against the cage to create that concave on his spine.
all grows up. You know what? Shut up. Come on. No. Our little babies all grows up. You have to.
He's all grows up, and he's all grows up, and he's all grows up, and that was vicious. I love Tyrone Spong, and I know him. I don't know Alistair at all. I don't know if you guys want me to do a breakdown on him. I'd love to, because he's interesting. But at this point in time, you can see, and Spong, by the way, started that fight off well, but at the end, Alistair just pulled away, or Ubereem, if you will. So understand the skill required here, and the devastation that becomes with timing and technique. So perfect 4 over the 1. That's not an easy counter. See how you got to time that perfectly so they're on the way in to then be hit by the 4. Again, that's something Spong does well. They come from the same place. Makes sense. More rotation of the body. And again, this is the Carbin school of effing people up. And Peter Aerts, the lumberjack, is no joke here. Ironically, this is a good example of him chopping down the tree. He's taking out the legs and body to expose the head. Or as Teddy Atlas would say, putting water in the basement. There's a million ways to phrase the same ideology, right? And with body shots, you always get that kind of delayed reaction. In fact, all organ shots in general, because organs are covered in nerves, but because they're so embedded, there's always a delay, kind of like a guy getting a hit in the groin. So here he is starting off from southpaw. He's going to step forward with his left foot, and it becomes a switch kick, beautiful, against another world-class K1 kickboxer in Gokhan Saki. Now I slowed this down because it's brilliantly technical. He's leading with his left knee and bent at his right knee, and his arms will propel his hips toward target. So all those little backslashes and arrows that I'm using were just to demonstrate that fact. And you'll see again there, oh, the penetration of that alone is just terrifying. So thus far, everyone's been pretty much world class. This dude isn't. When your back's against the ropes and you're going to feint the 3 into a 6, I would strongly recommend against it. And on occasion in combat sports, of course, toughness can be a gift and a curse. This 3 into left-hand PL4 is still underutilized in my opinion. We see Lomachenko do it a lot in boxing, but in MMA context, we really don't. See, the left hand's out, he's prodding, pulls down the left glove into that short hook, and the power that he's generating with such little space is just incredible. Here's an old school Senchai style kind of body lock twist around right there over the fulcrum point of the knee, and once he gets you down, it was a wrap at this point, just vicious. And again, round and round. It's a hat tip to Warren DeMartini, and none of you will get the reference, but I'm still going with it. Everything is round. I don't know if you remember good old Todd Duffy, but he was another person that could have been a subject of a video similar. He came out like a greyhound out the gates there. Now this is very Ernesto Hoostish, to kind of push an opponent into an attack. Hoos did it with low kicks normally, but here he's just trying to create some space to operate. So he's using a push, and there he framed to 2 times. This is the 2nd time now. He's framing his hands in order to just shut down the offense. Now he has the space that he wants, and there's that little bit of clinch where he's just grabbing at the trap. So here he's defending to no avail. His hands are in the way of his solar plexus, but it doesn't make a difference at all. And Alistair's clinch there isn't grabbing a whole lot. You'll see it from this angle. And it's just, I put spooky angle because you get to really see when slowed down what terrifying mass he had. But if you notice, that clinch wasn't exactly, you know, the tightest Pechbonchu or Malapet type clinch. And of course, last but not least, in any literal sense you want to use, that was about as much weight as you're ever going to see in the octagon, I would venture a guess to say. I think this was post-diverticulitis. I'm not exactly sure when in the chain it was, as far as chronology, if you will. And here's some beautiful head control, very Sugar Ray Robinson. It's been around forever, in other words. That's why I use the hat tip to him. And just to see someone 265 and skilled launching themselves across the ring into knees, again, perfectly in the center of mass, which is your solar plexus, again, a chorus of nerves. And see, again, you're a knee chambered here prior to the follow-through, which is the turnover of the hips. And after the fight, I remember him telling Rogan, oh, it's just good old K1 kicking. Who's going to disagree with that, dude? Eats horse meat. So the rest was just really a matter of kind of playing things out. This dude is one of the scariest guys of all time because he was skill meets just incredible athleticism that had a bit of help from what we may call Mexican supplements. And if you dug this, let me know, because I'm all for doing, say, like a Raymond Decker's type breakdown or something like that, more nostalgic type breakdowns, going back, or series, things like that. I believe it's Pompous Psycho from Detroit Rock City who asks for Decker's often. So if this is the kind of thing you dig, I'll do some more. I just want to mix things up and be a little bit conceptual. Read the description if you're smart. And thanks for watching. Cheers, everyone.